And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Dr. Q is our guest. He is the driving force behind, and I say driving force behind Central New York Brain and Spine Neurosurgery because you got a group of people up there. It's not just you.
Correct. We actually have two other physicians, and we're hiring actually a new physician just recently, and we're looking to add a couple graduates who are looking to join us as well. And then we have, on top of that, 3 other mid-level providers.
You know, I said this, what I'm going to say to you, I've said this to the district attorney, and I've said it to the United County Sheriff, and I've said it to judges. You have your job to do, but every 4 years they have to run for election. You have your job to do, but you also, it's a business, yes?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you got to be a businessman.
Well, I think being a businessman, that's why I hire people to help me with that part of it. But I think when you look at the business of medicine and the business of taking care of people, you want to deliver. It's a service, right? You know, we have friends that own restaurants and other service industry. If you don't give ideal service or high-level service, people aren't going to come back. If your product isn't good, people aren't going to come back. So it brings up the point. We try to stay state-of-the-art, okay? We're looking at the best of navigation equipment that's out there. We obtained a 3 Tesla MRI where if I wanted to get some of my patients the right type of MRI for them, I'd had to ship them to Buffalo, to New York City to get the MRI that we actually have in our facility today. So you have to reinvest into your own business to make sure that you're getting the best for your region and draw in from other regions into your area.
What's different with the MRI that you're just talking about from the typical MRI?
Right, so this is a brand new, the highest level, the newest GE Pioneer. It's a 3 Tesla MRI, and it does all the bells and whistles that a regular MRI does, and then we added on the neuro package, which is what we do. So for spine cases, many people may have had instrumentation or other things in their spine. We can dull out those areas and be able to see through like a metal artifact, those types of things. Even with hips, and there's different sequences that we're able to run that no other machine has because it's up to date. Also on top of that, we're able to do amazing things with head injuries where we have patients where we can run a particular type of tractography or functional MRI systems on there. It's very exciting, cutting edge, and it makes our job more enjoyable for the system that we have in place.
How often are you in the surgery suite or room, whatever?
Yeah, so we operate multiple times a week, almost every day. We do some minor procedures in our office, but we operate on patients almost every day. We try to balance things out because we have patients we see in the office and patients that we take to the operating room. We have a particular type of philosophy. Our goal is with spine care, which is a majority of our practice. Brain surgery is what we do as well, but brain surgery has a little bit less of a population. If you have brain problems, they're usually pretty significant, and we try to get taking care of those patients as early as possible. And they usually occur during the acute phase, what I mean by in a hospital stay. When we talk about spine care, and we bring patients in, we do what's called minimally invasive spine care. We are the only comprehensive spine center in the region. We take care of you whether you need an injection, you need a medicine, you need therapy. We work with all different multi-specialties, and we're able to get a comprehensive review of your care. It's very exciting, and patients like that as well. A lot of times, I don't know if you've noticed, you can go and see a doctor, then he refers you to another doctor. And so at our place, it's not that we're not referring you out. We work with different doctors and different systems to get you the right care and not have you travel a bunch of different places in order to get that care.
One of the things that I've heard when people say, well, I had a spinal. And of course, I heard somebody tell me once, oh God, I'd never do that again.
Sure.
What is a spinal, number one, and why do people get spinals?
So, I think they're talking about an injection.
Yeah.
You know, the injection is, we look at conservative management. So there's twofold. When we do an injection for the spine, we do it for a diagnosis as well as a treatment. If I look at you and you say, listen, doc, I got pain shooting down my arm or down my leg or across my back, I then get some images if you failed conservative management. Particularly, we try to give you a little bit of time, rest, and some what we call NSAIDs, anti-inflammatories, Motrin, those types of things. And then if that doesn't work out, we bring you back and we say, okay, let's get a picture. When we get the picture, not uncommon that we see multiple levels of degeneration. We're trying to localize based on where the symptoms are and the MRI, what's causing the symptoms. And in order to do that or help treat it as well as diagnose it, we sometimes say, hey, listen, it looks like it's the C6 nerve or the L5 nerve in this particular area. We're going to give you a block in that area and numb up that area. And so what we do is we create a cocktail, and at our suite we have a particular fluoro machine that gives us an image and is able to give us a location of exactly where we want to go. We place the needle there and we deliver a steroid, typically with some numbing medicine. It really doesn't hurt too much, but it gets the medicine on top of that nerve and it coats it. Well, you probably say, is that definitive? Well, it's not definitive, but it can help people get out of pain and get through their therapy or chiropractic care. And then it can also tell us, hey, did it work for you? And if it did, then we know where the spot is. X marks the spot, I always say.
When you say it doesn't hurt too much, how much is too much?
So honestly, most patients only feel the initial numbing medicine. We're very particular. We numb the skin up, and that's usually where if you numb the skin up, then the needle usually doesn't bother you until we get to the location, and then we're putting the medicine on that.
You know, I had a dentist once, and I had to have a tooth extracted, and he did something before, and I can't remember what it was now, but he did something before he gave me the Novocaine. And so when he gave me the Novocaine, I didn't feel the shot going in.
Exactly. It's probably just a little spray or something cold to numb it up.
Yeah. I mentioned COVID. What has that done to medicine in general?
Sure.
And elective surgery in particular?
Well, you know, just recently we see that the president got it, so nobody's immune to this. And so what we have now is we've had to change our protocols and how we deliver care. We were essential, and if patients had strokes, which there were patients who were not getting the care that they needed, and then because people were afraid to leave, their blood pressure wasn't under control, people were getting other symptoms, and they were ending up in the emergency room. So we quickly adapted to this. We went to what's called telemedicine. And initially we came in with some basic ways of doing telemedicine, but it really pushed us to a technological edge and said, hey, you need to do this. Because now we're able to say, hey, listen, if you need something and you're up in Potsdam, we'll do a telemed for you right away, make some decisions, and maybe get us to you a little earlier. But it gave us an opportunity to reach out to our patients and make sure they were doing well. And if they weren't, then we took the precautions on bringing them in. You come into my office, which I want you to come by at some point. Right when you walk in, immediately you get screened with a temperature. We have an automatic temperature system that comes in, gives you your temperature. If you're green, you go through. If you're red, you got to stop, go back, and then we figure things out. But we have social distancing, and then everybody's wearing masks. As you see, I almost have this thing on all day.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, since I've been wearing a mask, I feel sorry for people in your profession that have to wear them at work all the time. Dr. Q is our guest. Short break, right back.